G'day, g'day. How you going? What do you know? Well, strike a light. G'day, g'day. And how you going? Just say g'day, g'day, g'day. That's the Aussie way. Just say g'day, g'day, g'day and light a bong. Hey, legends, do you want to see a giggle? Let's have a giggle at our butthurt Prime Minister of Australia, Airbus elbow. Crikey, what a lefty that goose is, and all these groupies. Crikey. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Vote One Nation, mates, in this coming election. Let's roll.
Now, you tell her I'm too busy to speak at this DVD rally. I've got Prime Minister stuff to do. Hey, Albo. Oh, hey, everyone. What's going on? You're waiting to see Andrew Giles as well. Why don't you take a seat? What's this all about? So, Albo, we're all here today because we're a little concerned about your addiction. My addiction? To what? Immigration. Hang on, is this an intervention? Caddy, do you want me to talk or not? I'm the Prime Minister.
Albo, the number of immigrants you're letting into the country is completely unsustainable.
Paddy, what's gotten into you? You sound like Miss Senator Hanson. You guys have been listening to Miss Senator Hanson. She's far right.
Nope, turns out she's just right so far. You should give her a chance and actually listen to her.
Penny's right. And you know, the majority of Australians actually agree with Miss Senator Hanson on this too, mate. Oh, shut up, Jim. Look, Albo, I'm the biggest lefty here. I think everyone can agree with that. But 2,000 immigrants a day is just completely irresponsible. It's a Port Fairy every day.
It's a Mudgee every week.
It's an Alice Springs every fortnight. Oh, come on, guys. It's not that big a deal. All the cool countries are doing it. We don't care about your globalist mates. Stop putting the interests of foreigners ahead of Australians. Oh, come on. It's just a little stimulation to the economy. Look at our GDP. It's a temporary high, Albo. It's not even real. And it's going to cause a massive crash. Even I can see that coming. And I don't know the first thing about economics.
It's so obvious. We can see the lines, Albo. At Centrelink, rental inspections, hospitals, the traffic.
You need help. You need to get it under control. Here. Net zero? This is clearly a scam. No, mate, this one isn't. This is good. No, I want my precious immigrants. Just let me have them. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I can quit any time I want. Yeah, so maybe I've let things get a little out of hand. And at first it was small bumps, but before I knew it, I was full on injecting Australia with thousands of immigrants a day. I'm sorry, everyone. It's okay, Albo. We all make mistakes. We are the Labor Party after all. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right, Jim. I'm going to quit cold turkey. And I'm going to commit to this net zero immigration policy. I'm going to do it for the good of the country, even if it does mean we'll lose the next election.
Wait, lose the next election?
Oh, yeah. If we don't artificially stimulate the economy with immigration, we'll go into a recession. We're already in a per capita recession right now anyway. Poor Jim's going to be called the treasurer of the corset. Well, maybe we just say it's the recession we needed to have. Yeah, that didn't work for Paul Keating when he said it, but yeah, sure, why not? And maybe they won't even care on account of just constantly calling us racist.
They won't do that. Surely it's possible to have a nuanced conversation about immigration without resorting to...
Oh, no, Adam, my dear. They'll be constantly calling us racist. But that's okay. We'll survive. Hopefully. Sure, we'll lose our high-paying jobs, but we'll get new ones eventually. We can always do Uber Eats in the meantime. And when we do get a job, we'll be living the high life. Obviously not in a house that we own or rent, but in a tent, if we can afford one. But even though we'll have nothing, at least we'll be happy, because I did the right thing and quit my ridiculous addiction to immigration. Oh, well, maybe we should just let him have a few immigrants come in.
Yeah, a sustainable amount, like half a Ballarat a month.
Yeah, not much. A Canberra every 6 months or something. Yeah, just a Gold Coast a year, like what he's already been doing. Why change it up now? Oh, okay. As long as you guys are cool with that, let's go get Jolesy to hook us up.
Yeah!
And then I'm off to do some very important Prime Minister stuff. She didn't want me to speak at this DVD rally, but I said, oi, I'm the bloody Prime Minister!
Yes, legends, Aussie mates, if you learnt anything from that, say no to Elbow, Airbus Elbow, our politician. Now let's keep rolling. This is Danger Dan, one of me favourites. God bless you, Danger Dan. Thanks for letting me use your content, mate. Cheers. Let's roll. You'll enjoy this.
The fat girl at the domestic violence rally called me a liar. But the worst part is, it's true. Peter Dutton.
Tick tock, tick tock.
I've been so busy. Who has time to work these days? I've had enough of Palestine rallies, and now it's time for Domestic Violence Week. At least it gave my freeloading rent-a-girlfriend something to do. And it was great to see the Minister for Bullying there too. How many women's lives have you ruined this week, Skeletor? Gee, she's been working overtime on her beer gut. Oh, come on, guys. I'm the Prime Minister. I run this country. Don't let a tragedy get in the way of a photo op. What do you mean a Christian priest was stabbed? Nobody gives a stuff. He should stop with all the photo ops and just do his day job. Oh, what a cute little bubba. I wonder what its pronouns are. But I'm going to have to hand it back because it's the
Wrong colour.
Oh, Bill and I ran into a few old boilers at the local bowling club. Keep your hands to yourself, Bill, you filthy prick.
Coffee down there. So great to have you here.
Now get back to work, you loser. I even bumped into Fiona Coote, the heart transplant recipient. Some people in Alice Springs think that I'm a heartless prick. But when it comes to women, I really do have a big and generous heart. Oh, now give us the microphone, Tubby. I'm the Prime Minister and I run this country. Oh, the organiser started crying, so instead of going over and consoling her, I just looked at her and kept talking. Oh, why are you so emotional, loser? Now, I told all the women in my cabinet that the only way to fix domestic violence is to smash her. But nobody else seemed to get the joke. Oh, stop hogging the microphone. Everyone came to see me, not you, love.
That's a lie. That's a full-out lie.
Cheaper electricity. I even had a couple of spare hours to pop into Alice Springs for a quick photo op and to pick up a bottle of whiskey from BWS. Geez, watch where you're throwing that cask of wine, love. Now, I had to tell Linda to put her $5,000 handbag away because nobody in Alice Springs can afford one.
No.
Oh, come on, everyone. Let's wind this up. I've only got 15 minutes and Linda wants to do some shopping. Oh, what are you doing here? You're not an Aborigine, although you are a bit darker than Brucey Pascoe.
That smoke goes on to you, so the country knows.
No. Baby Otto. Baby Otto.
I'm such an inspiration. It's off to the Kekona track. Okay, 100 metres is far enough. You got all the photos, boys? Time for a break. I even found time to have a chat with some real Aussie heroes. Although I think this bloke, he could see through all my fake and phony crap.
No credibility.
Here, catch the ball, kids. I just realised that I've spent more time in Papua New Guinea than I have in Alice Springs. How long do they have to wait?
I don't know.
Oh, Chuckles and I are about to throw away another $1 billion of your tax dollars on my new super-duper quantum computer. What could possibly go wrong? These guys over here are Australians, and giving away all this money reminds me of that other dud company that I endorse. It is a growing company in one of the growth industries globally that we are seeing.
Are you sure about that?
Oh no! Why is it that everything I endorse turns to shit? Vote yes!
No.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. Is it a plane? No, it's just a dwarf-headed, bow-legged dickhead in a high vis.
Emitters past, present and future.
Oh no! What's Goblin Head up to now? Oh, Chris, nobody can afford these $250,000 pieces of crap. Especially in a cost of living crisis. Well, unless you're a rich politician like you. Oh, haven't you two found a house yet? Maybe you should move in with one of the new migrants. Oh, it looks like we've got some more violence against women. Why the long face, love?
I felt like I should have been dead, but I don't know how I survived.
Oh, stop your whining, Grandma. I've got the finest ministers taxpayer dollars can buy. They're working on it right now. Oh, shit. I thought I sacked these useless ass monkeys. Now get back to work, you man-giant dork.
Australia's diversity is one of our greatest strengths.
That's why nobody can find a house to live in, you idiot.
This is Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. How are you?
Is that dead gerbil still stuck up your backside? I say to Elon Musk, that he's so out of touch.
Let's talk about housing, Prime Minister.
Do you want to... Yeah, I think you've had your say.
It shows how arrogant this bloke is. That's what it shows.
Go yourself.
Now, this Prime Minister has an excuse for everything and a plan for nothing.
Woman. That's a full-out lie.
Okay, that's all I've got time for. It's so many selfies to take and so little time.
Tick tock, tick tock.
That's just not fair.
Bruce Springsteen! Bruce Springsteen! And I've listened to people who are all saying...
The clock's ticking, nothing's happened.
Danger Dan, mate. Crikey, dude. You're gold, Danger Dan. And now we got Sky News' Rita Pahani coming up. She's gold, mate. She just rips it, says it how it is. I'm just showing you a couple of me favourite content creators on the government. This dickhead Albo.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's campaign for greater online censorship has made him into a massive international joke on social media after he complained about those mocking him with memes and fake footage.
Media platforms have a responsibility to make sure that misinformation isn't got out there. I noticed today, for example, on the way up here, they've removed various sites that were up containing fake images of myself superimposed on other people. That's the sort of thing that is going on social media. Social media has a responsibility to do the right thing here.
How shocking. Can you believe that's going on social media? People making fun of the Prime Minister. Really, I mean, this is one of the viral clips that he's inspired as he's trying to use the powers of the state to control free speech online. Do we really need that removed from the internet? Does the PM think he is above mockery? Let's bring in Sky News contributor Kosha Gator. Kosha, the PM has made himself the subject of mockery with some of his statements. Is it reasonable to expect social media platforms to take down footage like that, that's mocking him, that's obviously doctored and fake?
It is not. I think for 3 reasons. So one is the principle of it. Free speech, free expression is the bedrock of a free society. He, as the Prime Minister of Australia, should know that and support that. The second is the legal framework. It doesn't work. There's no way for Australia to impose its laws under this e-safety commissioner and everything on the whole world, because this is a global platform. The internet is borderless by definition, and the legal frameworks aren't aligned across the different countries. And then the third thing is just pragmatically it won't work. Even if it's sort of like whack-a-mole. You can censor or force through the threat of fines, which has happened, for one platform to take something down in one country. And then with VPN or other platforms or everything else, you're always going to be behind the 8 ball. And I think this is about something bigger and using these things as a tool for censorship.
Well, everything you have said is absolutely true. It's just logical statements of fact. And yet we've got the media in this country becoming the biggest cheerleaders of more censorship. Look at this effort from 9 News.
First, X ignored a demand from the E-Safety Commission, and right now it's still refusing to comply with a federal court order to take down that graphic footage of the bishop's stabbing. The defiance of the company's owner, Elon Musk, is clear to see on his own page, launching a bizarre spray against Australia, saying if any country is allowed to censor content for all countries, what's to stop it controlling the entire internet?
Kosha, precisely what part of Elon Musk's explanation there is bizarre, as that journalist claimed? How can any government demand a piece of footage be banned, not just in their country, but around the world?
The only thing bizarre in that is how much media has fallen, how far they've fallen. The whole point of a free press in a free society, again, is to be that forum or that way to bring truth to power, speak truth to power. And I think, we've seen that happen. This is another case in point of how media has really lost its way in terms of the role here. It's ultimately about the nature of power, where all of this, again, is sort of a pretext for government to grab more power and erode civil liberties more. And then I think the media sees itself today as adjacent to that core governmental power. And so they seem to always be covering for the government's heavy-handedness rather than calling question to it.
Yeehaw! That was one of my favourite Sky News as well. Oh, yeah. Well, we got to get to the guts of this. This Prime Minister is a bloody goose. Dead set.
It has been a horror week for Anthony Albanese, who somehow has managed to infuriate everyone from all sides of politics. Now, it all started with this moment at a women's rally against male violence.
Be clear, we did ask to speak, myself and Katie, and we're told that that wasn't possible, and that's fine. I respect the organisers' right to do that.
That's a full-out lie.
To do that. We now have 10 days paid domestic. I agree it's not enough. I said that. We need to do more.
It was awkward and bizarre, and when that footage streamed into newsrooms around the country, it led the news cycle for everyone. But this was just the start of a very long headache for Albanese. Organiser Sarah Williams soon went on Sunrise to call the Prime Minister a liar.
They said that they weren't coming to speak, they were just coming to walk in solidarity. I'd actually asked him, their office, if he would speak, if he could commit. And they said, look, it's a bit too busy, but Katie Gallagher would happily speak. Him coming out and saying that he asked to speak and was denied was really, really upsetting. It was quite traumatic for not only me, but everyone in the audience, all victim survivors, honestly, across the country, because our Prime Minister just flat out lied on a national scale in front of the whole country.
Williams also posted to social media a claim that Albo had said, "I am the Prime Minister, I run this country," when trying to convince the organisers to let him speak. And Albanese was asked repeatedly about these claims, and he dodged every question.
You were called a liar. How does that sit with you?
Look, I'm focused on the issue, Carl. It was an emotional day for people, and I get that.
So she said you're on the stage with her and there was confusion about, you know, who was going to speak. And then you said behind her on the stage words to the effect of, I'm the Prime Minister and I run the country. Did you just say that?
Well, Nat, I'm not going to get...
Is he standing in front of the Chinese embassy?
Into you know, that sort of debate.
Well, she's come on national TV and she's saying that all in radio and TV around the country.
So what did Albanese say? Did he really say the world leader equivalent of, do you know who I am?
I'm happy to know what we were intending to talk with the ministers, hear what they have to say, and then we'll consider the decision of them speaking about 10 minutes. But I'm not having any attacks towards myself or the organisation. Speaking or not speaking?
To be clear, we did ask to speak, myself and Katie, and were told that that wasn't possible, and that's fine. I respect the organisers' right to do that.
That's a full-out lie.
To do that. We're here today to demand that governments of all levels must do better, including my own, including every state and territory government.
Now, it seems that Williams may have been partially wrong, as I couldn't hear the words, I run this country, but he definitely stared at the organiser and said, I am the Prime Minister, while making the point that he should be allowed to speak. Now, the condemnation from those who are all typically allies of Albanese has been swift and hilarious, like this from The Guardian's Amy Ramikas, who thought this should be a wake-up call to her peers. General reminder, she says, politicians are not your friends and should be held to account and criticised when they fall short. Doing so is not an endorsement of anyone else or another party. You should want your politicians to learn, to be better and work towards solutions. Now, the fact that she felt that she needed to say that is very telling. And on the ABC, this opinion piece was published by Annabelle Crabb. Albanese was so desperate to prove he cares about gendered violence, he forgot one thing. If you're a proper leader, it's not about you. The footage of Anthony Albanese attempting to cope with the febrile environment outside Parliament House on Sunday's domestic violence rally is nearly unwatchable. Now, it may be unwatchable for Albo's disappointed allies, but I imagine many coalition staffers put the moment on loop in their offices. Well, joining me on the show this week is the Australian Sophie Ellsworth and Nova Radio's Michelle Stevenson. Michelle, the very start of this story, before we knew all the backstory, even just that one moment where he was picking a fight with an organiser, even just at the very beginning, that was a misstep.
I mean, Albo, what can I say about this? Everything about it is wrong. I mean, this is performative politics. He went there to kind of show solidarity, and what he did was he actually ostracised himself from the cause. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a Prime Minister. He should not be out there rallying and crying for freedom and saying we should be doing this. He should just be doing it. That's the role of the government. And I think what he's doing here is he does what Albo does so well, is he does performative politics. He says, I am with you, I am here to do this, I am so sorry this is happening, but yet he fails to lead when we need someone to step up and lead and to make the poor woman cry. I mean, regardless of whether he was right or wrong, what he should have said, he should have apologised. It's so easy for them to apologise, to say, you know what, I'm sorry I made her feel that way, that was not my intention. The bigger issue here is violence against women.
Sophie Ellsworth, let's bring you in. What are your thoughts?
Well, Jack, the concern here is when politicians put themselves in these scenarios where they cannot control what is going on. Now, this was obviously a live event unfolding that was not held by the government. They decided to participate in it, so they can't really control it. And this is where things can go bad and go bad very quickly. And that, to me, was a PR disaster. Whatever the case, whoever decided who could speak, who couldn't speak, what was agreed, what wasn't, that was a disaster because that clip went viral and went on every news bulletin, every news outlet. What is interesting here, Jack, is the left have had to call this out by the Prime Minister because it's there right before their eyes. But I wonder, would we have seen far more extensive coverage if this was a Liberal Prime Minister, if this was Scott Morrison, if this was Tony Abbott? I think the outrage would have been far greater on this matter.
I couldn't agree more, and that was the point of me reading out the Amy Ramika's tweet, because the fact that she has to say, hang on guys, we should be criticising him,
yes,
she's doing that because people are not criticising him because they're running a bit of a protection racket.
Yeah, and what was interesting on X is we saw this kind of fold out over the days after this. We saw people from the left be swift in their in the way they went against Albo, but then they kind of watered it down. They watered down their apologies. I know Kathy Wilcox, who does a cartoon, she took her cartoon down and said she was wrong to be so swift in judgment. And I think we saw this with a few people from the left. Mike Carlton was particularly scathing of the woman who was orchestrating this whole event. And I think at the end of the day, when you've got men on the left who are criticising a woman who is, you know, of an Indigenous background, has, you know, been the product of violence, and you've got them criticising her because they hold Albo to an exceptionally high standard, I think that's where we have a real problem.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.
Yeah, fuck you, lefties. I got one bit of advice for you, mates. Say no to Albo. God bless yous. Don't forget, we're based Aussies. We were the lucky country. Let's finish up with one of me mates' Aussie fan channel, and then we'll play an appropriate song. Big love, legends. If you made it this far, thank you. Like and subscribe, and not under duress, but we'd do this again. We do it often, this stuff. Let's roll.
By spreading misinformation. I mean, it's a bungling of a bungling of a bungle.
Enough is enough.
Yeah, so maybe I've let things get a little out of hand. And at first it was small bumps, but before I knew it, I was full on injecting Australia with thousands of immigrants a day.
This is about the dangerous implications that can occur when things that are simply not true, that everyone knows is not true, are replicated.
Well, the Albanese government is under fire once more over the detainee scandal after a released man was charged over a violent attack on a grandmother in Perth.
We've taken strong action already. We quadrupled funding for the East Safety Commissioner. I'd say this.
I'm the Prime Minister.
The Albanese government's handling of the detainee crisis is going from bad to worse. Now, Sky News can reveal the Commonwealth did not oppose bail despite claiming it did.
Oh, come on, guys. It's not that big a deal. All the cool countries are doing it. We don't care about you globalist mates. Stop putting the interests of foreigners ahead of Australians.
Well, it's very damaging when the ministers are given talking points and they are wrong, and then they go out and, you know, parrot these talking points, and then they're caught out by spreading misinformation. I mean, it's a bungling of a bungling of a bungle. It's just an absolute disaster.
We know, I think, overwhelmingly Australians want misinformation and disinformation to stop.
And then that spreads through the media, so the information spreads and then the correction spreads. They need to get their house in order because the coverage that the government is getting by the media now is rightly so incredibly critical and quite scathing from some quarters of the media, and it's important when they are dealing with matters that are so vital in Australia, so critical in Australia. They need to get their messaging bang on, and they have failed miserably this week.
You need to get it under control. Here. Net zero? This is clearly a scam. No, mate, this one isn't. This is good. No, I want my precious immigrants. Just let me have them. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I can quit any time I want.
Wake up to yourselves, Australians. You're taken for a bloody ride here like sheep to the slaughter.
I don't feel very safe here anymore, unfortunately. I don't. But I'm doing my best to live here. I don't know. It was his ankle bracelet removed in March. He should be safe, but, you know, we feel we've been let down.
And as I do, I love to play a song after one of these. This one goes out to our Prime Minister, Airbus Elbow. Say no to Albo. That should be a war cry. God bless yous. Vote One Nation. And thank you to the content creators who let me play their stuff tonight. Great content. Cheers, mates. Yeah, this one goes out to Elbow. Say no to Elbow.
I try to live my life every day. Keep out of strife, come what may. I try to do unto others as I'd have them do to me. But it can't be done for everyone, and now it's plain to see. You are a cunt, a big fat stinking cunt. Say it ain't true, but I'm here to tell you you're a motherfucking cunt. You are a cunt, a motherfucking cunt. Fuck you! Everybody knows from your head to your toes you're a big fat stinking cunt. I try to be real nice, say it twice, be real nice, even though it is hard to keep up this facade. And now I see, dearie me, what a hassle this will be. I'm out of luck, don't give a fuck, cause you're the cunt, not me. Why don't you go fuck yourself, dickhead? You are a cunt, a big fat stinking cunt. You say it ain't true, but I'm here to tell you you're a motherfucking cunt. You are a cunt, a motherfucking cunt. Everybody knows from your head to your toes you're a big fat stinking cunt. Why don't you shut that scabby cunt mouth before I fuck up your face?
Fuck out of my goddamn fucking face.
Fuck off.
Oh, whatever.
I try to be real nice, say it twice, good advice, even though it's futile. Fucking imbecile. I don't know why I tried to deny this nagging itch. You maniac, gonna get you back, you fucking son of a bitch. You are a cunt, a big fat stinking cunt. Say it ain't true, but I'm gonna tell you you're a motherfucking cunt. You are a cunt, a motherfucking cunt. Everybody knows from your head to your toes you're a big fat stinking cunt.
On a serious note, Aussies, me Aussie mates and American mates, we're going to make Australia MAGA country. MAGA country. Make Australia great again. We got to drain this leftard swamp. The globalists, the WEF cocksuckers. What are they blackmailing with? What are they getting out of it from screwing us so hard? Yeah, say no to Elbow, and vote One Nation. God bless you, mates. Wishing y'all a beautiful, peaceful, healing days every day. Cheers. Ripper Billy.